What is pay yourself first? Let's repeat it again. I've made this video many times, but it's a while back. Pay yourself first. What is that principle and how do you apply it? I've heard it multiple times. You've heard it multiple times, but how do you actually apply it? Because if it's not applied, it's just a waste of breath from an expert online that's telling you to pay yourself first. You need to apply it and use it in your own life and make it a part of who you are and what you do. Who is the most important person in your life? I hope that the most important person in your life is you. Because you are responsible for your future you's happiness. Do you know that? If you're miserable right now, you're the only one that can change that. And if you're relying on other people to change that, it's going to be temporary that you're going to be happy. But if you actually make a decision and take responsibility for your own happiness, that in the future, I'm going to be happy, that means that you've got to take certain steps in order for you to arrive at the exponential growth curve of happiness. That exists. Did you know that? There's an exponential growth curve of happiness ahead of you if you actually apply the correct principles on a daily basis that will get you there. One of those important principles is pay yourself first. You are the most important person. That's why you need to pay yourself first, always. So how does it work and how can you apply it? Hopefully, you've got a paycheck. If you don't have a paycheck, then watch all the other 80-hour workweek videos that I've got, especially the one on my channel page. The first one that's called Become a CEO, Schedule something, whatever. I don't remember. But it's the most important video for you to listen to if you're unemployed. Because you need to apply for 100 jobs every single day until you've got 2 or 3 jobs to get you out of the situation that you're in. Now that you've fixed that, now you've got a paycheck. Maybe it's weekly, maybe it's bi-weekly, maybe it's monthly. It does not matter. This is what's going to happen. You're going to set a percentage aside the moment that you receive your paycheck into your bank account. You receive the paycheck, and now there is an automation that needs to happen. If you're wise about it, you'll tell the bank through online banking, or even if you have to manually go into the bank and say, I don't know how this online banking works, can you please help me? And they will help you. And now you have an automated system that causes your percentage to go out of your bank account into a separate bank account, preferably one that you can't see, where all of your pay yourself money goes to. So what percentage should that be? You can't do 100% if you got bills, if you need food and groceries in order for you to survive to continue the 80-hour work week. So you need to be wise about it. Maybe you need to start out with 10% per month. That's the absolute minimum. But once you see that 10% is easy, if you know that's easy, obviously go higher. But once you know that 10% is easy, then go to 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%. At some point in time, I think it's wise to set it up as a goal for you to get to 75%. There's a story of Shaquille O'Neal going to a lunch when he was already rich. He went to a lunch with the guy that was a billionaire, and Shaquille O'Neal was like, I want to understand how money can work for me. Like, how did you get rich? I don't understand it. Explain it to me. So this billionaire had this piece of napkin in his hand. I've explained it before. And the billionaire told him, okay, so this is how you do it. When you get your paycheck, your $1 million paycheck from the Lakers, yeah? Half of it you take and you put it aside into income-producing assets. Now, what are income-producing assets? We can discuss that at the end. But you put 50% aside into income-producing assets. You can spend the rest, all right? This is after taxes, by the way. Okay, great, fantastic. But hold up, he said. That's what the rich people do. The wealthy people, they take another half of those 50% from consumption, and then they only use 25% for consumption, and they put 75% away for income-producing assets. This is how you get wealthy, okay? This is a habit that needs to be put in place, not when you're rich, not when you have money, right now, when you were 0 years old, okay? If there was ever a time, I mean, actually, if your mother had a savings account for you when you were just born and I'm saving up for a college education, what the frick crap, okay? She probably was paying you first, right? She was putting aside money for you every single month, and then you're gonna go to college and squander it, right? This has been a part of you, hopefully your entire life, but you, once you get money, you've got to apply it and put it to work. And it needs to be preferably automated so that you don't have to worry about it. It just goes on its own and it starts working for you. And if you haven't done it automatically, do it manually until it becomes a mental habit that this is who I am. This is what I do. It's part of who I am. Get that inside your brain, because that makes you a success. If you apply this principle of your own free will and choice, you are a success. It's the number one step towards success, and people doing the 80-hour work week are missing out if they're not applying this principle, because all of the money that they're making from the 80-hour work week, that is suffering, by the way, disappears just because they go on one vacation, or because they thought that they could gamble it or trade or whatever. Don't do that. That's consumption. Income producing assets, completely different ball game. That's going to help you to stack cash continuously for the rest of your life. You've got to pay yourself first, or you're squandering time. The 80-hour work week, yes, is for you to become obsessed about building success, building a business, building all of that cool stuff, right? And for you to develop a work ethic that stays within you for the rest of your life. But there's also another important component of it, is that's what you actually make. Like, you're making money when you're exchanging your time, hopefully, for money. Now, it would be preferable if you actually work for free for a mentor on projects of skills that you need in order for you to become wealthy long term. That would be the best 80-hour work week if you could get that. But if you don't have that, and that's a luxury situation, then you're going to be exchanging time for money. It's inferior to the other the other situation that I just explained, but it is still a great situation. You're exchanging time for money, and you've got money. With money, you can do great things. It's a medium of exchange that you can use to bless the lives of others, but more importantly, charity starts at home, and you gotta bless yourself. And how do you bless yourself? By taking care of future you. Future you is the most important person in your life. You gotta take care of him, because if you take care of future you, you can take care of anyone you want. And if you can take care of anyone you want, you'll have a fantastic life, because then other people will take care of you. That's how the world works. That's how karma works. That's how the universe works. Okay, so what do you invest the pay yourself first money into? Number one, your education. Not a formal education, because that's the worst squandering of money you can ever do, because they don't teach you squat there. They don't teach you skills. You just get a certificate that you completed 4 years of nothing and you stuck through it. Good job on you, okay? That's not education. Educating yourself means hiring a coach that actually has the things that you desire in order for you to get what you desire with speed and experience. That's what you need. Number one. So On Track, Men of High Value might be your number one pay yourself first investment in order for you to progress to where you want to go. And we've got a very low investment on a monthly basis in order for anyone to be able to do it. And if you can't do it because, well, you're in a third world country, contact me with the DM at Men of High Value and say that, bro, I want to work for you. I'll work for free. I'll do anything, but I just don't have the money. Let's get to work, okay? I'm looking for great people and great talent continuously. That's what rich people do all day long, is they're just looking for talent. Okay, so if you're one of those talents, DM me and let's see what we can do together. But you got to understand, that's the number one thing that you use pay yourself first for, and you stay consistent with it, because those are the ones that get exponential growth curve. I've got a dude that literally 5 years ago made nothing. He just had a regular paycheck working at his mom and pop's supermarket, making maybe what, 1,500, 2K a month, whatever. He's now making 20 times that 5 years later. Right? That's insane, if you ask me. That came from coaching. You know what the secret was? He never skipped a month of coaching. Ever. He's the only one so far that I know that hasn't skipped 1 month of coaching. Maybe I have a few new guys that have never skipped as well, but you understand what I mean. 5 years. Okay? He paid me. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, all forms of other education that you need. Are there courses that you need in order for you to grow in skill sets? Go get them now. But you got to know that they're good courses, right? So do your own research to make sure that it is. Talk to your coach about it. Smart idea. What are there books that you need to read? Then make sure you invest in those books. This is what Pay Yourself First is for. Your brain is the number one income producing tool, and it needs to be sharp at all times. The cool part about Pay Yourself First is that you're not using it for consumption. Consumption usually makes you weak unless you're actually eating a wholesome diet and you have a good enough roof over your head. That's really the only thing you need when you're doing the 80-hour work week. Okay? Don't eat crap. Don't drink alcohol. Don't smoke cigarettes. Don't smoke weed. Don't do all the other crappy stuff that people do these days, so that you can set aside that money for Pay Yourself First. What else should you invest in? Well, get rid of credit card debt immediately. Create an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months. Very, very wise. Okay? Next would be to invest in your business. Whatever it takes in order for you to succeed in your business, invest in it. If your coach, if other people around you that have been in that space made those investments and they're now at the top of their field, go and get those investments with your Pay Yourself Money First money. And then once you've cleared that, it is very likely that you found something that works in your business, so now you can accelerate that speed with whatever it is that you need to exponentially grow it. Whether that's people, whether that's paid ads, whether that's whatever else equipment that you might need in order for your business to become a huge success. You know what's going to happen? Your Pay Yourself First percentage is going to increase, not decrease. So you're going to have more money in Pay Yourself First now, not less. Eventually, you're going to want to diversify into other things that are not your business, so you're not just relying on your health, but other people's health as well. If you're a little bit diversified, but that's what you do when you're wealthy, not when you're young. When you're young and inexperienced, you need to fully focus on making this one thing a huge success. Once you are rich, that's when you begin to diversify, because then you're taking a lot of money and then putting little risk, right? When you're starting out by yourself and you're massively investing in your business, you're taking a pretty big risk because you don't have any experience and you might make stupid investments, and that happens in the business world. But it is what it is. It's Pay Yourself First. Now, you'll always keep an emergency fund no matter what, because the emergency fund is what causes you to have leverage in every single sales conversation and interview that you have in the future. If you've got money, you don't need money. And that is the highest form of leverage that exists in the business world. Everyone needs money, maybe except for you. And if you don't need money, you're going to be the king of the hill. So you've got to get to that point as fast as possible. And again, the only way to get that happening is by you paying yourself first. Charity starts at home, the 80-hour work week. Let's get to it. Let's pay yourself first, make it automatic, and let's go crush it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.